Hi guys. So I really wanted to just hop on and do a video for you because something came up for me earlier today in regards to two key things. The importance of loyalty and trust. And often these two things can really get mixed up, especially in friendships and relationships. But loyalty and trust for me, and thinking about these two different words, and I'm not going to say in any way, shape, or form that they're not interconnected. They are not the same. And I really want people to really sit with this and understand where I'm actually going with it. Loyalty is the faithfulness and devotion to someone or something, and trust is the reliance on the integrity, the strength of a person or a thing. And that's the reason why hand in hand, sometimes they can get really misconstrued, but also hand in hand, that's why they work. And they are part of a huge foundation when it comes to any relationships or any trust that we build upon within our relationships and of course ourselves. And yesterday I talked about self-trust, which is so important. But I want everybody to understand that we all have various different sides of ourselves that we don't show as often because we're fear of people being turned off, you know. But when you act in this way and when you do this, who are you showing your loyalty to? Who are you showing your trust to? Who are you being when you're doing this? But when we only present ourselves as a facade, you know, or a partial truth of who we really are, we don't give people the opportunity to love us completely. Honesty is defined as the pleasance of being really sincere about things, and it brings out the tendency of straightforwardness, truthfulness, and the worth of just being trusted. And I need to say this really out loud to people. There is some people that's going to like you, and there's some people that ain't going to like you, and there's some people who's going to understand you, and there's some people just isn't going to understand you. We may end up pleasing a greater number of people, but we miss out on what is perhaps life's dearest opportunity, to be surrounded by a group of people or a person who loves us for being who we are and honest with ourselves. Now, I know sometimes it's really difficult to find this group of people, and sometimes it's really difficult to find that partner who just gets it, you know, and inevitably it can entail, you know, some people falling away, people that you've grown up with and you just don't have them anymore. You don't have them anymore in your life and where you're going. Some will be repelled by your personality. Others will be magnetized by it. But that's okay, because you know what? No individual is supposed to be loved by everybody, you know, and how you rise in yourself. Wow. If you fall down, the power is in the step of how you get back up. And I really want you to really get this. You know, I had a client, you know, yesterday say to me, the truth is, you know, trust is more important than love. And I really sat with that. I sat with it for like ages. I was like, wow, trust is more important than love. You know, a person who says this, I'll give an example, can be a person who's never loved. It can be a person who says that he's fallen in love, he or she. The reason why I'm giving these two examples, because when it comes to trust and when it comes to loyalty, people experience it at different times. Sometimes the experiences, you know, the intensity of the emotion is different. And it's simply their definition that divide them. And it's not so the trust. You know, trust is clear, but love is love. And only by you being unapologetically, yeah, being the wonderful person that you are, inside and out, only then you can see your truth. And we cannot expect somebody else to know your truth or be the truth to us when we are not being true to ourselves. And there's a few simple things and few simple ways that you can ensure that you gain that rapport with anyone you meet. And I want to give you a few quick tips. Give yourself with no expectation in return. And I really, really want to repeat this again. Give yourself with no expectation of return. And this could be time, this could be knowledge, this could be some material possessions. You know, a friend of mine told me that his philosophy in doing this is sharing and caring. And the reason why I say this is because you cannot expect others to treat you any different if you allow the same outcome to occur over and over and over again. You have to make yourself accountable and responsible. So be very, very careful when you're actually looking at this. When I'm saying this to you, give yourself with no expectations in return. It has a huge, deeper meaning. But I ask you to make yourself accountable and responsible when you're doing this. Be vulnerable, starting with you. Don't see shame in crying. I have had clients seeing shame in crying, seeing crying as a weakness. I see crying as a release. Don't feel shame in it. Don't feel shame in your story because it is your own. Some people look at vulnerability, you know, as not only as a weakness, but also for an opportunity to really, for somebody else to take us, you know, a jab at them for some reason. But mutual vulnerability, it quickly leads to deeper connection. And this is so true when it comes to romantic relationships as well as friendships. Being vulnerable, you know, it might involve you actually sharing your own personal story, what it is that you're going through, revealing those doubts or talking about how you feel, you know. And I know it sounds like, oh, you know, I don't really want to go into these sappy conversations with my friends and everything. I get it. But living life means an experiencing a whole new spectrum of emotion. And I can definitely say that going through this whole growth journey and doing what it is that I actually do, you have to experience these things. You have to experience it. You have to go through them because it's setting you up for something else. And you don't know what it is, but you just got to embrace it and you've got to just do it. I've had close friendships. I've had friendships that's caused me pain. I've had friendships that's caused me pleasure. You know, great to be around friends, but I know the difference. I ask you not to judge harshly. Look at your friends around you. Don't wait for an opportunity whereby, you know, something's happened that you reach out to somebody else. Don't judge harshly. Judging someone on the basis of his or her external appearances reflects nothing but your own inner doubt. And if you're thinking that in yourself and thinking, you know what, why should I really join? Why should I really speak to her? That's okay. But I really want you guys to really get where I'm going with this. Don't judge harshly. Do your best to see through presumptuous, you know, thoughts and get to know a person rather than assuming you know it by their look. Remember that your friends were nice enough to see past you, see past what was going on outside of you, you know. So don't judge harshly and genuinely give compliments. You know, you don't have to be, you know, a kiss ass in different things. You've got to be genuine in your approach and what it is that you actually do, you know. And it's not about impressing anybody, but it's about you sharing that compliment, because that compliment that you give to somebody, you don't know what it might do for that person. I want you to be beyond being true to you. I really want to extend this next half of my live video to you, is to talk through some of the discussions that I have around loneliness. And the reason why I'm raising this is because this has been raised on numerous occasions when I'm speaking to clients. You know, how they're feeling and how they're doing it on their own. And being alone is very different to feeling loneliness. And I want people to really, really, really get that. Those of you who are alone, I want to tell you right now, do not feel guilty. To feel lonely is common, and to feel guilty about your feelings is just normal. Yeah, so I really, really want that to hit home with you. To know you're not alone in your feelings of isolation may not feel helpful, obviously, in the moment. You know, we're going through COVID at the moment, understandable, but it's helpful to acknowledge it. And I want you to acknowledge yourself right now when I'm actually saying this to you. I want you to turn outwards to others and not in yourself. And the reason why I say this so much is because sometimes we can have real deep conversations with ourselves and it just goes over and over and over. And I'm telling you right now, I do it all the time. Don't let yourself go up into your head. Pull out. Don't stay up there. Overthinking about your situation, it just makes things and makes everything else so much more worse than what it is. And I really want you to measure yourself backwards. The great temptations, you know, when we're feeling low, we start to rate against ourselves. Why haven't we got this? And why have we lost that? And why did we lose that opportunity? And why did he leave me? And why did he leave me for her? And why is he taking her away on holiday? And he never took me away on holiday. And why is he doing this? And why is he doing that for the kids? But he doesn't do that for me. Instead, I want you to think about what you've already done for yourself. What have you done for yourself in your life? What are you grateful for? And you'll find that you've done many, many, many things that has led to a full life. I want you to dwell on that for a while. Measure yourself backwards. It's so key and it's so, so, so important. And I'm really, really glad that you shared this time with me to listen to my video. And I hope you take some heed from it. Trust, loyalty, loneliness.